I'm Linda Tellington Jones, and I have the great pleasure of introducing Tovie Van Ness from Alberta, where I was born in Alberta. And the reason I wanted to introduce you is you took a course with my sister Robin Hood 16 years ago, and you've been using the work ever since, and I just am so impressed with the quality of the work, with your touches, with your groundwork, with your understanding of the work. And I wanted to hear your story a little bit because I'm intrigued how you were able to take that one week session and turn it into an experience that you've used all these years.
Yes, well, thank you, Linda. When I first started with this work, I'd just gotten introduced to horses, and a couple of the ladies at the barn where I was boarding my first horse, that's all they did was T-touch. So that was my introduction.
And where was that?
In just at a stable west of Calgary, where I boarded. I was given a free horse from the handicap riding program. That's how I started with horses, and didn't know anything about them. So I was introduced to T-touch, and that's all I knew. And then a man that I worked with, he went to an auction and bought a horse that had some problems. He was a crypt orchid stallion, so they had to do a couple of surgeries on him. And after each surgery, each year he had a surgery to try and find this material. And he just was really impossible to deal with after each surgery. And right around that time, I was subscribing to the newsletters.
So that Robin's been doing
yes,
since 1984.
Wonderful newsletters. And I saw there was a week-long training coming up in Vernon, so I asked my boss's wife, Gloria, they're friends as well, and I said, let's go and learn this better, and maybe we can help Rocky, because the trainers they were sending him to just basically wrote him off and said that he was just dangerous. So, and Gloria was just new to horses as well, and we went and took this week-long clinic and came back and went to work on Rocky, and it took us 3 months because we didn't know really, we weren't very good at reading the horse, little subtle signs. So we might have even been doing better than we thought, but we were erring on the side of caution because we were both new. And it worked, and we got to a point where we trusted him, and we took him to the mountains and had a wonderful ride with him, and so that's how we started, and I never gave it up. I've used it, and
so you've been helping a lot of people with their horses ever since.
Yeah, well, not ever since then. That only started in about 2007, and I started teaching beginners and introducing them to horses. Is really what I started doing.
Right.
But what's become a spin-off of that now 4 years later is that now some of my students have bought horses, and then they run into troubles, and they're not happy with what their trainers or their coaches are telling them to do. And so they started asking for my opinion, because I've always stayed as a resource for folks when they once they get going with their horses. And so then I started going out and was able to share a lot of the work. But this clinic has shown me that I wasn't doing everything perfectly.
And still worked.
It was still working. And
that's fantastic.
So, we've just had some tremendous results with, and I've got a couple of my own personal horses now that came to me with troubles. And that's how I start them all. And the trust it develops.
And so you're how far south of Calgary?
Just 10 minutes.
Oh, great. Because I want to really put this out so that people who want to have a special relationship and a safe relationship and a successful relationship will know that you're available there for people to get in touch with.
Well, I'd be happy to introduce the work to anybody in that area.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Linda. Yeah, it's been just a pleasure being here.